Hello geeks and gamers, Matt Lemke here with your Gamer Goggles, and today we're going to do a flip through of the Pathfinder NPC Codex. The NPC Codex is about 318 pages long. It is really pretty much packed. It's much more than just an NPC book like I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a bunch of character sheets, and it's not really what it is. It goes through and it hits all of the core classes, Barbarian, Druid, etc., all the way through Wizard. And then it hits some prestige classes. It has some NPC-type classes, like an Adept, a Commoner, an Expert Warrior. And then it hits the iconic characters of the Pathfinder Society, which I thought was really cool. And what they do, well, we'll get to that in a second. Each build is unique. For example, we'll flip open here to, Bards. We flip past Barbarians into Bards. And what they do is they go through and they name the Bard, and then they give it a level, and with the appropriate challenge rating and the experience, etc. They give it an alignment. Then you get basically what you would expect from something like in the bestiary of how things work. But what they do that's really cool is they get into tactics, and they list your before combat tactics, during combat, and the base statistics and stuff, and what he or she would do in the place of this character. And as they get more pronounced in level, they do a little bit more background and give each character fluff, which I thought was pretty unique and nice. The title of each kind of sets the stage for the type of character. For example, back here when you get into Thieves, for example, this Human Ranger is an Undead Slayer. And, her name is Nightbane. That type of thing. I think Paizo's done a really good job with this. Actually, stellar. It's really well beyond what I anticipated for this. When I first picked it up, I thought it was going to be something where I would just be able to plug and play some of the characters and, just be like, oh, I want to go hop in a campaign here. I'm going to grab this character. But the way they approached it, not only can these be used as NPCs in your campaign, but let's say you've got family in from out of town or friends visiting back from college or whatever. This is a great way to sit down for an evening and just grab a couple characters that they want to try out or something new. Or if you want to try out an arcane archer without ever having to go through the work of trying to play and get that far, you can go ahead and do it. One of the cool things about this is that in the not the very back, but towards the back, they get into the iconic characters. And they have this nice little breakdown on who, a little bit of fluff on each one of the Pathfinder Society characters and stuff. But what's really cool is they come with the character sketch and profile. Then they have the first level character, 7th level, and the 12th level. And at each level, they're given magic. Well, actually, all the characters in the book are given magic level appropriate items and abilities for their level. Plus, at each level with the iconic characters, they give you a basic stat breakdown and combat strategy, just like they do in the beginning of the book for all the core classes, which is, I don't know, I kind of like it. And it's really good, if you're a DM at a convention, you can just pop this book out and be like, hey, you don't have a character, or I don't have one prepared, and you want to pull up a seat and try the game. Here you go. Here's a character, and here's basically what they do when they get in combat. It's brilliant. I can't wait to see if Paizo goes ahead and has inserts of a lot of these characters at their conventions for GMs to use. But there are a few more things in the book that are worth noting as we get back here. A couple of appendixes. One is an appendix on animal companions. It has a breakdown for all the different animal companions. There's a couple more. I haven't really played too much time working with the appendixes. Oops. Helps if I'm at the table of contents. There's animal companions, encounter groups, which is really good. We'll take a look at that. And class feature index. But on page 308, they have the challenge rating index. And what this is you need a challenge rating of 3. They give you the page number of what you would need to make those things happen. For example, these 2 mages are not afraid to dive into melee when the need arises. You have a battle mage and 1 gem sorcerer, and that's a CR3 challenge rating. A CR3 challenge rating. That was silly. It's a challenge rating of 3. And then you have that tiers all the way up for the different classes and things, all the way up to 20. So for a GM, you've got a great tool there if you need a on-the-spot or adventure incident or excursion. Boom, you got your characters ready to go, and the page numbers are on. And then you have the class features with page numbers on the feature in the core rulebook. So, for example, Abundant Step is on page 59 in the core rulebook. That's one of the good things. Now, aside from the book being really good and just a quick way to get a quick game in, it does kind of lack a couple of things, but it is their first time that they've done this. So the one thing that I noticed it lacked is it doesn't touch on any of the advanced character guide classes or anything beyond the core rulebook, basically, or the core classes. What I did like the most, I think, is the fact that it put the iconic characters into it. It's really pretty outstanding. The art, again, is what you would expect from Paizo. The layout is pretty much the same. The pages are, indexed up at the top with the CR rating of the one side is the top number and the bottom is the right side or the right page. So it's really, they put a lot of thought in it. They've done a lot of thinking on how to lay out their books and their products, on how to make them easier for people to use. You have all kinds, you get a good picture with every single one of these to state basically, oh, okay, there's a lot of flavor there. One thing I noticed also that it didn't cover is there's no multi-classes in this book. There's no multi-class NPCs. That could be for quite a few reasons, but again, it's their first book. I'm sure that if this is the success that I believe it's going to be, they will do an advanced or another NPC Codex that goes above and beyond this and includes advanced classes, includes monster races, includes multi-classes, includes more prestige classes. This is just really the tip of the iceberg. And I really have to admit, when I first thought, or when I first heard about this book, I really thought it was just going to be an encyclopedia. In a way it is, but it's not. It's really a lot more than that because of the way they did it. I thought they were going to come out with Joe, the Bar Tavern Keep, Jim, the Night Guard type of thing. No, they went through the core classes and they gave them each levels and appropriate challenge ratings, which was not what I was expecting. I'm pretty happy with the book. We have used it twice now. My daughter plays Amiri in our game, who is, I went too far. I actually showed her earlier. She's the barbarian. My daughter loves the fact that, there, Amiri. Like I said, it gives you some fluff on these guys. She was set up to die in a frost giant camp, and she came back alive, and that is her trophy, a frost giant bastard sword. That's something else, and I can't really think of much of a better way to end the NPC Codex other than saying it is a good investment. More, probably, in my opinion, for GMs than for players. But if you're a player who doesn't play a lot, it could be very good if you're hanging out with your buddies and you just want to pop it off the shelf and say, hey, can I play this guy, dude? It's not a bad deal. Matt Lemke with Through Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com. If you're watching this on our website, you can always follow us by clicking the social media links on the right-hand side of your screen. And we have to thank Pathfinder for this because this is an exceptional book.